Meanwhile, plenary will resume at the House of Representatives by 10 a.m. after Thursday's Rowdy session on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, later announced that the INEC chairman and the Nigeria Communications Commission will be invited to give more briefings on how the electronic transmission of election results will be hitch-free. Well, joining me now for this discussion is lawyer and public affairs analyst Olutubosun Oshifowora, as well as leadership researcher Dr. John Ekundayo. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
My pleasure.
Now, let me begin with you, Dr. Ekundayo. I know I've been seeing your reactions while we were seeing the report, and I want to know what came to mind when you saw all of the reactions in the House of Representatives, where members said voted in favor, and then the deputy speaker, Speaker of the House of Reps, goes ahead to say, okay, the nays have it, and that generated a rowdy session. And then we see, in the Senate, there was also the back and forth with regards to the original document saying where possible, and then the amended document now saying that the NCC, approved also by the National Assembly, will have to give the go-ahead if INEC can transmit, election results. What do you make of all of it?
To me, Veronica, it's just that we are not serious about having free and fair elections in this country, in Nigeria. It's a sad day, really. I mean, that yesterday something, while watching all what was going on, the Ulabalu in both houses, Greenwich Chamber and the Red Chamber. Is it because at this time that we have come of a nascent democracy, our lawmakers should be thinking of deepening and developing our democracy. And for us to be, having squabbles on electronic transmission is not just, it's out of the point. You see, because if we are not hypocritical, we all want elections that are credible. And we have monitoring, international monitors coming year to year, whether it was 2011, 2015, even to 2019. And we have their reports. So if we have electronic voting, electronic transmission together, most of these things that they have enlightened that were demeaning to our electoral system will have been taken care of without any problem. But now, we are deterring. Our legislators are deterring on this. They are faltering on this, which is unfortunate and is saddening.
Let me come to you, Olutubosun. Reacting to this, the immediate past INEC chair said that what the Senate did is an insult to the independence of INEC. I wonder if you see it as such.
Absolutely, that's correct. First of all, let's just put these things in perspective. They're practically taking certain powers of INEC and putting it under the NCC. That's one. Then also, like he said earlier, that we're not progressive in nature. This, fine, you can come out and say that, fine, that our networks are bad, everything. When it comes to things that favor these people, somebody is scared. That's just what is happening here. It's obvious. It's obvious. We know, we've been around for a while. Somebody's
scared of what, really?
If there's electronic transmission, it goes straight. Everybody has access to it. We've seen every time when there's an election, you wait sometimes till Monday before results are reeled out. They'll tell you some results are coming from the creek, some are coming from this. If there's electronic transmission, this thing, we all have phones. Yeah. We all have buttons at our, at our disposal. In seconds, you see these things. So the room for that manipulation, that's where the scare, the fear is coming.
But these people are meant to represent the interest of the generality of Nigerians who put them there.
Unfortunately, this is the only country that I know where democracy works and is only the representative that decides what he wants.
It's no longer about the people.
Recourse to the people, because I have a representative. I'm from the Speaker's constituency. There was nothing. I mean, something this sensitive, I think, should be thrown back to your constituency. Then you now come back to the green or red chamber to come and say something. You just go there, say something that looks like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Nobody is asking back home
No, there was even a reaction already prior to this yesterday, where I think it leaked, where some persons saw that they were taking out that aspect of electronic transmission. And the president of the Senate came out to say that people who are coming out to say these things are just rabble-rousers, in his words. And now we are beginning to see several adjustments from the original document.
It's very unfortunate because, one, you're taking powers off the INEC, where we're fighting for independence of judiciary, independence of INEC, you know, independence of bodies that the Constitution already provides that they should be independent. Now you're trying to stifle them with some of these unholy provisions. One, you said INEC, you've taken it off INEC. Then also you're subjecting it to the network. That means that if NCC says that the network cannot carry, that's the essence of that provision. It says that NCC will transmit, may transmit, that's one. Then it now says subject to
the approval of the National Assembly.
Subject to the network. That they're subjecting it to the network. So if they come and say the network is not working, what do you do? Then you now revert to how it used to be. We all sat here, we saw Americans vote.
Of course.
Even when Trump was trying to be funny, we saw how everything, those are institutions that are established. We're trying to establish something here, and so our supposed representatives have gone on, you know, they've gone on and taken decisions that are contrary to what the general populace, the constituents want. I do not understand this kind of democracy. I do not understand this kind of
because, you know, listening to radio this morning, a lot of persons were saying that because the same Senate said that we will be introducing AI, the use of robots to fight, you know, insurgency, insecurity, and now electronic voting.
Veronica, let me just say this. It's not even about NCC. You see, we have credible companies, farms, internationally conducting election for nations like India. Look at how India is so diverse, and we don't have any contention with the election result. So we have all this. We have this Google app that can capture even water, even at the delta, at the riverine area like Bayelsa, can capture even to the northeast like Maiduguri, you know, Unguru and all that can capture everywhere. So it's not about NCC. Just like my colleague there said, you know, it's like taking power away from INEC. Instead of having, you see, and these are signs of, you know, a seemingly failing nation when you don't have even institutions that are independent. That are independent. You know, you begin to see signs of failure, and that's what we are tending to. Because between 1999 and 2019, that we had all the elections, we have not really changed in the electoral process, and this will have been, you know, the icing on the cake. It will have gotten this one right. Then we can look forward. Because one thing these senators need to know, and this House of Rep members need to know, there is something good that's in the electoral, which is independent candidacy. And that's where I'm going. You see, I was on the platform yesterday, just like my colleague Olutubosun was saying, that even his own representative there, the speaker, somebody was also talking that, oh, look at my own representative. We'll meet at the next election. So by the time we have independent constituency candidates, it is good for Nigerians now to know those who are really for them and those who are really against them. That is it. That's what our representatives are. They don't make us happy.
But the question is, are Nigerians learning? But that's aside the point. Is this decisions like this? Is this what is making our democracy nascent, which you spoke about earlier? Yes. So how do we then talk about deepening democracy now, ensuring transparency in elections where we have decisions like
this is let me just say it here, and it's very important. The followers have power. You see, thank God for the civil society organization that have been mounting pressure. They have their situation room, they are mounting pressure, but it's not enough. You see, where is the Nigerian Labour Congress? Where are the workers? You are crying that the prices of materials, of items are going up in the market every week now. It's happening. And then you sit down at a very important matter like this. Where is NANS for crying out loud? And all these people. It's not about NSAS and you are demolishing things. It's about mounting pressure on your representative. It's about saying you are going to record them. It is so that they know the pressure they are under. If not, we'll continue this vicious cycle. Till who knows when, I don't know.
Right. Let me come back to you, Olutubosun, because this issue is of major concern to a lot of persons who often say that they do not seem to trust the system. because of decisions like this. They had raised an eyebrow a day before, and then this is before them. Do you think that this might have an impact? We already have a continuous voter exercise going on, and a lot of persons have been encouraging people to come out, and then now this.
Let me just tell you what this has shown. You know, over time we've talked about the fact that electorates are not aware of their rights and everything. Right. But if you look at the events that have happened, let's take it from, I think, you know, the whole of last year there was Corona, there was NSAS, there was a bit of agitation on the part of people. People now realize the people power that they possess. Mm-hmm. These representatives, they've seen that everybody is, let me use the street parlance, wising up. Well, yes, that's what's happening. And they know that if people really stand up, there will be a revolution and things will change from how it used to be. Now, when I say revolution, electoral revolution, people are beginning to become aware of their rights and their powers. Now, so these people want to keep us in the dark. They want us to remain, things to remain the way it used to be. They want things to remain anachronistic. We all have, I mean, we've alluded to it severally here in the past few minutes. Electronic voting is what obtains everywhere. If you vote, do electronic voting, what is wrong with electronic transmission?
Yeah.
Transmit results.
Yeah.
From where it is to the center. What is there a problem with that? Is that it?
In fact, we're talking about whoever's ballot box snatching and 20 years. Isn't this going to ensure that we don't have incidences like that?
If you recall, you remember some time back, I think it must have been the election that brought former governor of Lagos, Fashola, in.
Yeah.
You remember, you know, I think the AD then, they got people to keep, you know, then there was no Twitter, nothing. It was almost like the manual phone. Way back, things weren't this improved. But they made sure that results from every polling unit was sent to a central system. It was their own way of checking things. And at the end of the day, what all their the representatives,
party agents,
the party agents sent, tallied with what INEC brought out, because INEC knew that they were on their, they were marking them. So everybody knew. So that is what. Look at what we did. 2007. I think that was when Fashola came in. Now this is 2021.
We should be progressing.
We should be progressing. And we did that to check the system back then, and it worked very well. Now people are trying to come up with, okay, let's put this in perspective. Let's make this the law. And some people are standing against it in 2021, and they claim to be our representatives. These people, I must say on air now, they're not representing us. They're representing their pockets. They're representing their fears.
That's what it is. I should add this dimension. You see, because INEC did a lot of homework. I don't know whether INEC is called today.
Today is
very
the
good. Yeah. They have even, because I wrote this in my column in the Nation on Sunday. You see, they have even called up to 49 companies worldwide, from Korea, from China, from USA, diverse nations that have displayed to them, you know, the
possibility.
Yes, whether it's a riverine area, whether it's in the desert, they will be able to capture. They have this technology universally. It's not about NCC. It's about satellite, for crying out loud, in 2021. And these people widely traveled, they are, but there's an agenda. You see, when I will see, you know, the voting line, you know, the voting pattern, I don't know whether it's verified. I felt sad yesterday. I almost lost my appetite. Honestly, I almost lost my appetite. It's like, are we taking this as partisan? On party lines? Because you see credible people in the house voting against this thing. And then you now begin to cry, vote rigging and whatever. You see, if care is not taken in 2023, people are voting against. The thing may even work against them. It may, but so that is why we need to do the needful now. We need to do the needful now.
So the National Assembly will be engaging the INEC chairman as well as the NCC. Are you confident anything positive will come out of the meeting later today?
Given the pattern of vote yesterday, it's about, then look at what happened in the lower house. People said this is how we want to go. The deputy speaker said the nays have it. Like,
It's a predetermined or premeditated.
I think that's where the electronic voting and transmission, all these nays and highs, somebody with a louder voice will shout, then you now say those who, so let them put it to vote, let people know. Now,
they already voted yesterday.
No, I mean the lower house.
Okay.
The lower house.
Yeah.
They need to come. Now, everybody is now aware that, okay, this is what my representative is doing. No problem. 2023 is around the corner. We'll catch you. That's basically what it is. So I think the lower house should toe that line and come out. Let everybody come and state their position. INEC will come. INEC will still tell you that the best. I think Faleke tried to put up something.
Yes, he said that we should use both.
Let's say middle of the road approach. Like, okay, if there are areas where networks may not be good,
sensible, rational.
Okay, let's do the manual but let's still go for. Let's know that we're standing for electronic transmission. That is what it is. That is what is happening. That is where the world is going. Let's just stay there.
Perhaps they do not perhaps fully understand how.
How what?
They do.
Let's not interrupt your thought. You have a thought. You are trying to.
No, just for Nigerians to understand that maybe we do not fully understand. Maybe let me use the word they. We. Okay. All of us.
Okay.
How this electronic transmission of results will make our elections credible, transparent, free and fair. So I want you to educate all of us.
Fine. I've written about this a couple of times. And you know what? At the end of the day, the nation will spend less. That's one. You see, look at JAM today. It's electronic. And then even the federal government is raking billions from JAM, unlike in the past. And not only that, look at our banking system. You can sit there, Veronica, and you do a lot of transactions. You see, we are not nobody. So a lot, and then hooliganism, vandalism. It will reduce. You see, because let me tell you, part of the thing we have in our election is at the point of collation, counting, collation, and announcement, and then you see that they will come with falsification. I mean, results will have been falsified. Somebody will come with a result have been written. And just juggle it in like that. All this will have cancelled it because he will be looking at it. You'll be looking. The other party will be looking, and it's going to the central server. It will be so clear to everybody. So at the end of the day, you won't even have any muscle to say you want to go and fight anybody, rather than to congratulate your opponent. Or else the people will just
there wouldn't
make
be cases in court.
It will even reduce cases in court. It will just be on maybe some maybe electoral process that you can. It won't be as per the election per se. It won't be on the vote counting and whatever thing, this word, that word, whatever, So it won't even happen.
If you recall, the last two NBA elections, there's been platforms where these have been tested. We have seen it. There will be hitches here and there, but for me, I feel that the Senate and the lower house should vote for electronic voting, and they've done the voting, but the transmission, so that even if there will always be teaching problems, but by the next election, that's beyond 2023,
you know where to adjust.
We will know where to adjust, and we'll know where to stand. People have done these things. Certain institutions have done these things, and we have seen how it panned out, and it worked well. Even if people go to courts and challenge the results of elections, these are things that, computers don't lie. They may be manipulated by certain individuals, but I mean, you can still trace the points of manipulations. Unlike where, like he said, that between collation center, between where vote took place and the collation centers, the whole manipulations that goes on there, these are the things that these people don't want to be
let's wait and see the outcome of today's meeting, and then we can finally know the minds of our representatives. Nigerians are watching, they must understand that. But gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Olutubosun Oshifowora, as well as Dr. Sorry, let me get your name correctly. John Ekundayo.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Veronica.